Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to Anime King. And today I'm going to be giving you a brand new series. What if Naruto was trained and raised by the three Sannins? Part 1. If you enjoyed seeing 1, see Part 2, go ahead and click that red subscribe button and become part of the Anime King family. And thank you for all for helping and support. Remember to comment down below and tell me if you're new. I'll be planning talking back to all of you. And also, remember to stay tuned for Thursday episodes coming your way over at Anime King 2 and Anime King 3. Yes, that is right if you're new. I indeed have 3 channels, Anime King, Anime King 2, and Anime King 3, which I post what if on every single day for you guys to enjoy. So go ahead and click that red subscribe button and become part of the Anime King family, and thank you for all your help and support. And yeah, without further ado, we're just to begin this new episode. Start the intro. Sarutobi stood on the balcony of the Hokage's office. A balcony he never thought he would stand on as a Hokage once more. Ever since he passed on the title to Minato Namikaze, the 4th Hokage, now hours after the battle of the Kyuubi, Hiruzen had to pick up the title once again, as his successor was now dead. Its last act was to seal the 9 tails away, as Sarutobi looked over his shoulder as he saw the baby sleeping peacefully in the basket. Standing before the decks was the 3 students of his, the legendary Sannins. As they just arrived. "We're sorry that we're late, Sensei," said Jiraiya, his tone sounding quite solemn. His apprentice, a student, the 4th Hokage had just died, and they were not there to help. The man was a wreck on the inside. The only thing that was keeping him there was duty. For him not to break down right here, he had to be professional. "We came as fast as we could," said Tsunade, as her being there was a surprise to Sarutobi after the death of her brother and Dan. The third thought that she would never return back to the village ever again, as Orochimaru on the other hand focused on the baby in the cradle. "Minato, he was his own son," he finally said. "Yes," said Sarutobi as he sat down behind his desk, his bones already aching at the thought of what lay in front of him now. Tsunade moved her way towards the cradle, a look in her eyes that Hiruzen had never seen before. As Naruto started to cry, "Shh! All is well now, little one," she said. "Where's your apprentice, Shizune?" asked Hiruzen. "She went to the hospital to help out," said Tsunade as her hands moved. As she noticed whisker marks on his cheek, Jiraiya looked over her shoulder. "Minato did a hell of a job on that seal," he said, as the seal was still there in the baby's stomach. After the first sealing process, yes, he used the Shiki Fusion, which took his life to power the seal Orochimaru finished for him. "What does this mean for the boy once he gets older?" asked Orochimaru. Minato designed the seal to siphon off and cleanse the Kyuubi's chakra over time. By the time Naruto reaches 18th birthday, the Kyuubi should be fully integrated and no more. The blonde started to fuss around as Tsunade reached and picked him up, as she slowly rocked him in her arms. "He has no relatives elsewhere," said Orochimaru, already knowing the fate of the boy's mother as well. "No. After Whirlpool was destroyed, Kushner had no one left," said Sarutobi, in a sad tone. "What has the council decided?" asked Orochimaru. Sarutobi sighed, as he was doing it a lot. "They are divided on the issue when it regards Naruto." "Why?" said Tsunade. "About what?" "Minato would want his son taken care of," said Jiraiya. "I'm surprised Ren and Kakashi aren't here, demanding to take him in." They saw a look on Hiruzen's face. "What is it?" Ren and Kakashi got into an argument not too long ago about the boy. Ren was willing to honor Minato's final request for Naruto to be seen as a hero. "And the Hatake?" said Tsunade. Kakashi Hatake wanted to kill Naruto. He saw him as a Kyuubi, The thing that killed his sensei. As Sarutobi closed his eyes remembering the argument. As Rain was so furious at the man. As Tsunade cracked her knuckles after hearing that what Orochimaru spoke. And what of the council, he asks. Most of the clan heads actually want to honor the fourth Hokage's dying wish. As they should, said Jiraiya. Yes, but the civilians. And the head of the Uchiha clan sides with them. As Sarutobi did not mention Koharu or Homura. And not to mention Danzo. The three Sannin scowled at the stupidity being shown. What will be done with the boy, Orochimaru asks, seeing that things were not playing out quite well. Since the first choice for his adoption won't go over well. I have little to no choice but to put Naruto in the orphanage under his mother's maiden name. No. As all three men turned, as Tsunade was holding on to the boy, who seemed like he was drifting off back to sleep. That is just begging for some idiots to take their wrath out on him. Which I will not allow, she said. He needs to be protected if the Hidden Stone ever learn that Minato has a son. You worry about the outside threat, Sensei, but you're blind to the knives within a leaf. She was right, he always tried to see the best in his villagers, but in the past several hours, he's seen the worst and he was beyond disappointed. He never thought he would be but the council and the actions of not to mention Kakashi. It was a lot. Almost to make someone lose faith in everything. He heard the shout of the civilians, calling for the boy's death. Even though he was just a baby, there was hundreds, probably thousands, calling for the child to be put down. As Tsunade focused on the boy. I'll take him, she said. But, Tsunade, you and your travels, I'll take him with me. A moving target is harder to focus on. But, alone? I have Shizune, said Tsunade. I'll be there as well, said Jiraiya. After all, he was always moving around. He could find her rather easily. But the person that surprised them though. And me. As Harrison looked towards Orochimaru in surprise. Do you three know what you're considering, he said. We will learn as we go, said Jiraiya. After all, Haim here is not gonna give in. Besides, with three Sannins raising and protecting him, I dare anyone to try and attack him, Orochimaru said. As Tsunade lifted the boy in her arms. Naruto of the Sannin, she said. As Hiruzen looked at all of his students, as he saw their mind was already made up. Somehow, during their time when they entered the office, they already felt a bond with the child. As Sarutobi smiled, Minato's legacy, the Jinjoki of the Kyuubi, the world's latest Sannin. You indeed will be great, Naruto. Time skip. Shizune was shocked when her master showed up with a small child in her arms. Surprised that they were going to be joined by Orochimaru and Jiraiya as well. Aw, he's so cute, said Shizune as she looked at the small child. You know, I was angry to be summoned back to Konoha, but the moment I lay eyes on him, something inside me switched. She looked up towards Shizune. I want him to be raised with love and care, she said. Officially, he has been adopted by all three of the Sannins, so he basically has two fathers and one mother. And you can be his aunt. Shizune smiled. I will get what we all need. Where can I find you? Here. I don't want to rest. Him on the streets too much. Orochimaru was called to the council. His brother-in-law was killed in the assault. Oh no, not Tensama, said Shizune. Yes, Jiraiya will meet us at the gate. And until he becomes Chunin, Naruto-kun cannot know about his mother or father. I'll tell him a bit about them when he is older, but for his own protection, until he can defend himself, he should not know. Chunin? Does that mean that we'll be coming back to Konoha? Shizune asks. Sadly, I would rather not put him against these idiots here, but Sensei got us to agree to it before we signed the adoption scroll. As she nodded, as she made her way off to get what they needed. Time skip. Tsunade and Shizune were standing at the gate, as the others are not here yet. Where are they? They know that we have to leave under the cover of darkness. Sorry, Haim, said Jiraiya as he appeared. She was about to yell at him, but she saw the look in his eyes. Minato's grave was unmarked and hidden. There were certain secrets that no one should ever get their hands on. And if people know that the Hokage was buried in a certain area, well, people would have tried to take his corpse. Kushina was listed as one of those Makis and buried in the tomb along with the others. Even in death, they are apart. It's not fair. As she could see that the man was hurting right now. As he asked, "Where's Orochimaru?" he said. "I'm right here," said the voice as he turned to see Orochimaru with a 4-year-old girl. "Orochimaru?" said Tsunade as she looked towards the child. "This is my sister-daughter, Uncle Midarashi. Her parents were killed tonight." As Orochimaru had a sister, her name was Yume. He even got along with his brother-in-law, but they were killed, and the child was left. Tsunade clenched her fists. "This village continues to take and take and take." "Lady Tsunade," said Shizune. Tsunade calmed herself as she nodded. "Welcome, little uncle," she said. "Hello," Uncle said. She looked at the ground, looking a bit shy. Jiraiya chuckled a bit. "Well, ain't this the odd family?" he said. Orochimaru said nothing. He was still in shock about hearing about his sister's death. "Come on, we can get several miles between us and Konoha," said Tsunade. Orochimaru nodded as he scooped up Anko. "We can travel faster if I carry you, young one," he said. As she nodded, the girl was still in shock. The great beast had stepped on her parents in the battle, as they had died. She did not remember everything or understand all that much, but her uncle said that he would take care of her, and she trusted him. Her mother always told her to trust her uncle. As they were moving, she finally noticed the baby in the woman's arm, and the white-haired man calling them family. "Does that make him my baby brother?" she thought herself, as she ended up falling asleep in Orochimaru's arms. As they move away from Konoha, from his balcony, as Hiruzen watched as they all leave, as he felt their chakra leaving away. It would be years before he see them again, but perhaps that was a good thing for now, to keep the children protected. Time skip. The Sannins, masters of the battlefield, legends amongst the ninjas, powerful as Kagis. There was nothing that they couldn't handle. "Oh my god," said Jiraiya. As he stepped away from the table, Orochimaru was across the room like he had teleported. How could something so small make something so foul? "Wet wipes and powder. Stat," said Tsunade to Shizune. It was simple. Naruto needed to be changed, but what lay in the diaper was enough to make the Legendary 3 stumble. "Sweet Kami, what did you feed him, Haim?" said Jiraiya. The smell was starting to waver towards him, and he was backing up, as he could swear that it was a noxious cloud that would knock anyone out. As Tsunade worked fast, removing the old diaper, she moved quick and precise, powdering him and doing everything. And the boy was fresh and giggling as she kissed him right on the tummy. "Who's my little stink bomb? Yes you are. Yes you are," she said. Jiraiya and Orochimaru watched as she talked to the baby, as they shared a look. Tsunade was the bravest of the brave for changing that weapon of mass destruction. Anko did not find that out until another few days, when she realized that standing in front of a baby boy while he was being changed was something not to do. As Naruto peed on her, Tsunade burst out laughing as the girl stepped back in shock. It was like a water jutsu, as he aimed it directly towards her. It was like he was doing it on purpose, seeing that he was laughing and wiggling his arms. His fat tubby cheeks as well was just chuckling as Shizune took pictures. The first 2 years seemed to pass rather quickly as Jiraiya and Orochimaru learned how to change diapers, to feed him the bottle, and they had to realize that he was still a baby and he couldn't learn the lessons that they wanted to teach him. He was still a baby, he was just 2 years old. Anko, on the other hand, learned how to read and write as she started learning basic taijutsu from her uncle, Urkai. And Mama Tsunade always made sure that they always ate, and made sure that the males were not getting into too much trouble. As Shizune had took pictures of Naruto first time crawling, as Tsunade had nearly lost her shit and blew up the entire place when they were in the inn, and Naruto crawled away from her. That was his first time crawling, as she was on the bed, and he was placed down to sit, as she was looking for something and he started to crawl away. The next thing she knew, she couldn't find him, and she saw a man outside holding on to him. Her mind went into overdrive as she almost killed the man by accident, thinking that he was stealing Naruto away because how did Naruto get out there? The man was shaken to his core as a furious woman almost punched his head off. He explained instantly as he wet himself, frightened, in complete shock and fear. It was then that Tsunade found out that Naruto could crawl. His first few words were quite an interesting ones. Pervert, Mama, Shizu, Orteen, and Anko, no. As Shizune kept a book and recorded and listed everything down. The first word though, Pervert, said Naruto, as he pointed at Jiraiya. Jiraiya was shocked. As Naruto seemed to take on some of her habits, she picked him up and kissed him for her job well done. Yeah, he's a pervert. Haim, please don't encourage him, said Jiraiya. As Naruto laughed, pervert, 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 he said. When he called her mama, she melted, as it brought a tear to her eye. Jiraiya, you have noticed a change in Tsunade, said Orochimaru, as they watched her with a baby. Jiraiya nodded, not something I ever thought I would see from her again, after Nawaki and Dan. The pair watched as Tsunade sang softly to her little one. Jiraiya looked towards his friend. When do we get so soft? What do you mean we? You've always been soft between the ears, Orochimaru said. Up yours, Urkai-teen, said Jiraiya. Orochimaru! As the two men turned as they saw Naruto. That's right, Naruto. Urkai-teen, said Jiraiya. Naruto would later name Shizune Shizu. Despite her attempts of getting him to call her by her real name, he just would not. Anko, no. The reason why he said that was because Orochimaru had to rescue Anko several times. She always managed to end up in some dangerous situations, and they always shouted, Anko, no! And Naruto picked up on that and started to say it. As he basically said like it was a part of her name, Anko, no. The Sannin and their family kept on moving, always moving from town to town. Jiraiya's first novel, H.H. Paradise, was a hit around Naruto's 3rd birthday, allowing the Sannin to take the odd jobs they wanted to, because they did not need anything for making cash. Tsunade still gambled, but not too much. As she found out something about Naruto, he was lucky as hell. At first, she made him sit in her lap, as he liked the colors and pushed the button, but every single time he did it, he won. He always won no matter what. Anko, now 8 years old, started to get more trainings from Orochimaru, and Shizune lessons on how to be a proper kunoichi. She's a girl, and she will need to know all of this. You can't make her into ultimate ninja, said Shizune, as Orochimaru and Jiraiya tried to teach the girl advanced techniques that she was no way ready for yet. As life for the Sannin is rather normal as they made their way, moving from place month to month. The Elemental Nation was a big place after all. Things went like that until Naruto's 5th birthday. With a peaceful life for the Sannins, it was a cool October morning, as the 5-year-old Naruto was stretching out of his tent that he shared with his mother. He runt as Naruto turned to see his sister, as she was dressed for their daily morning workout. As they could not find Jiraiya, they searched, as he went to knock on Orochimaru's tent. As Orochimaru came out, as there was shaving cream on his face, his hair was tied back. What is it, he said. Is Aeropop in there? Asked Anko. That is what they call Jiraiya. No, he's not. As Orochimaru stepped out in the camp, pants on, towel over his shoulder. As Orochimaru narrowed his eyes. Naruto, go wake your mother. Uncle, get Shizune up. What's wrong, Uncle? Asked Uncle. Jiraiya may be a pervert and lazy at times, but he will never leave the camp expressly, with you two expecting him. Orochimaru says he grabbed a shirt from his tent. Tsunade came out, Urkai said, as she tied her sash. Jiraiya is missing. I'm going to go look for him. I didn't want to leave the camp with the children unsupervised. Tsunade nodded. I swear if he's off, peeping somewhere, she said, as Orochimaru made his way, trying to find any sign of Jiraiya out here. As Orochimaru was making his way, something seemed off. He ducked as several shurikens and kunais came towards him, as he moved away as he struck the ground as he landed. The moment he landed, those seals activate all around the area he moved. Shurikens and kunais litter the ground, forced him to move back into the trap, as it was a net as it gripped him. Seals were all over it, as the seals were designed to suppress one's chakra rather quickly. As Orochimaru felt the feel of unconsciousness taking over, he tried to fight it, but it sapped his chakra, putting him in an unconscious state, as he cursed. No, protect me, as he fell unconscious. Meanwhile, as Tsunade looked towards the unguarded path, but traps were there. As Naruto was becoming quite a little trap maker, traps that not even Jiraiya or his toads could find. Oh, my little Naruto-chan, she said, becoming quite the trap maker, you're not even 6 yet. And Uncle was gonna knock Konoha's socks off whenever we return. She saw the girl as a daughter as well, despite her being related to Orochimaru, as she was loved by all of the Sannins. She just loved how amazingly They were getting along as she looked towards the two of them, as she remembered, back when they had visited the other town. Flashback. What? You think you're gonna be some kind of ninja? I mean, don't you have to be a part of a ninja village? A 17-year-old girl snarled towards Anko. And look at those clothes, she's just like a boy. But then again, she's rather flat-chested. Hey you trolls, said Naruto as he stepped outside. Leave my sister alone. As he knew that Anko was self-conscious about her body. Despite her only being 10 years old. Being around Aunt Shizune and mom. As Naruto attacked towards the girls. It started to sizzle as they ran. As Shizune witnessed what was going on. She did not see the tag though that was sizzling in front of them. I could have handled that, you brat, said Anko, even though there was a small smile on her face. Suddenly, boom! Tsunade rushed back to where she heard the massive explosion as she saw Naruto and Anko arguing a bit, not even minding the explosion that Naruto just created. Tsunade sighed as Shizune explained what happened. In the flashback, as Tsunade felt something was off. What's keeping them, she thought to herself. Meanwhile, hey, Urkai, you got caught too, said Jiraiya, from his cage. Not so loud, Orochimaru said, as his head was killing him. They haven't been here since they dropped your ass off. It's not them I worry about. I feel like that time when we hit the bar after Dan's funeral. As Jiraiya had a smirk on his face after hearing that. Pervert, focus, whatever team. I just remember Tsunade throwing us both out. Orochimaru groaned. Why in Kami's name were you given the ability to speak? You're just like one of Sarutobi's sensei. Trained monkeys. Jiraiya scowled as Orochimaru spoke. No, I take that back, as Jiraiya smirked. I apologize to the Monkey King for insulting one of his subjects by comparing it to you. Hey! Jiraiya shouted. Orochimaru took in his surroundings. He was bound. As that damn net was covered with chakra suppression seal. The moment he stepped in that forest, he knew that something was off. He could barely felt their chakra. But these fools don't know who they have in their possession. They must not. Hey team, is everyone alright? Jiraiya asked. When I last saw them, they were fine. How did they catch you? I had some time before Naruto and Anko would have been up. I decided to head upstream, said Jiraiya. I thought I found a safe spot. When the entire section caved in, and I was pulled underneath. I couldn't access my chakra as I was falling. As Orochimaru explained his own capture. Who are they? Not sure. No village symbol or anything. But they were wearing masks. And armors as well, said Jiraiya. Back with the kids. As Tsunade saw the first trap went off. The feeling was right. Shizune! Shizune brought the kids inside. Someone rushed through the smoke, moving towards her. As the man tried to incapacitate her. But it didn't seem like he knew who he was dealing with as her fists connected into his face. As the other one came as she ducked before coming back up. A brutal, bone-crushing uppercut that launched him away. 3 more flanked her as they sent jutsus her way. She moved as they destroyed the ground. She cursed as they turned towards the camp. No, the children as she leaped forward. But as she slammed her fist into the one that was close enough, it was a distraction as she felt something hit her in her back. Senbons, as she felt her left arm slack. Another one came as she lashed out her right arm as she grabbed him by the throat. But another Senbon hit her in her right arm, but she managed to brought the man down with enough force as she used her leg to slam it in his face and launch him forward. Another one landed in front of her. As he tried to attack her, she pulled her head back and dodged it. As she smashed her skull into his, jamming him down to the ground. She was hit with several more Senbons, yet she charged into the crowd as she was hit. She fell down as she felt her chakra points all seize up. No, she cursed as she tried to get back up, as the area in front of her was blown up, throwing her back. As she crashed on the ground, someone placed a tag on her head. Sleep, Sannin. Back with Orochimaru and Jiraiya. Jiraiya wormed a bit. I don't even want to know what just touched my hand. These people really didn't know who they were dealing with, otherwise they would have bound Orochimaru's mouth. As his long tongue extended and used a pick to pick Jiraiya's lock, seeing that he was facing him. It clicked as he was now freed. The man tore apart the ones around his ankles as he looked at his cage. As he saw the suppressors around him, around the cage as well, he reached out as he ripped them apart. As he held out his hand, a swirling ball of chakra formed. Rasengan! The cage was blown off his hinges. As he created another one and ripped through Orochimaru's cage and broke the bindings as Orochimaru got to his feet. Pounding feet could be heard as several ninjas rushed in as Orochimaru spewed something from his mouth. A green acid cloud. It passed through the ninjas, as when it was done, there wasn't anyone standing there. Only thing that left was burned, disheveled corpses. Why didn't you use that before? It's a wide range attack, Orochimaru said. But if you want, I can send you to the Shinigami early. In your dreams, teen, said Jiraiya. Do you really want to know what I dream about? At a time like this, said Orochimaru. Jiraiya shuddered as both men felt a massive explosion that even came all the way out here. As it was then followed up by a killer intent so palpable, it made the very air tremble. As Orochimaru snapped his gaze at Jiraiya. Is this? No, it's not possible. The seal should be fine. I taught Minato everything I know, and he surpassed me. As both men increased their speed moving, dashing from tree to tree, the killer intent was so deadly. Please, be okay, as both men move. A few minutes earlier, Mom! Naruto yelled as he watched these strangers. Brought down his mother. Naruto, Uncle, stay here, said Shizune, as she pulled her sleeve up, revealing the Senbon launchers underneath. The figures rushed towards them, still not making a single sound. Stay back, Shizune warned. The attackers kept on coming like their life did not matter, one of them pulling a curved blade. Shizune wasted no time as she took down several of them using her poison needles. She ducked as the sword passed over her face, as she pulled her scalpels and tear it forward, slicing across the man's face as he jumped away. Anko and Naruto both stayed back, their hands shaking as they had kunais in them. We need to help. Anko slapped a hand on his shoulder and Shizune said that we need to stay here. It was then that Shizune screamed. Both of them snapped their gaze towards the source, and Shizu said Naruto. Don't, said Anko as she was trembling in fear. As the man opened the tent flap as Anko pushed Naruto behind her and leaped forward with her kunai in her hand, but the man swatted away as he grabbed her by her throat as he held her up in mid-air. As she pulled her fist back, she tried to slam it into the man, but it wasn't doing so good. Let me go, she said, as she brought her feet and kicked it in the nuts of the man. The man seemed to wince in pain as she dropped on him as she started to bite him. He backhanded her away as he slammed on the ground. She got back up. Stay back, Naruto, she said. I'll protect you, as she leaped forward. He put in a bit more force as he sent her flying through the tent, leaving a hole. As Naruto started to lose it. Sister, he shouted. So, Kyubey, has being a human weakened you so? The voice of the man said. I am Naruto, not the fox, you idiot. As soon as he was old enough to understand his mother, I sat him down along with Jiraiya and Orochimaru as they explained that he was not the Kyubey but he was a jailer of the fox. And if you want him, you can't have him. And why is that? Because my dad was a seal master, and if you try to remove the fox, it will not only kill me, but the fox will die as well. The man raised his hand, stopping the others behind him. Impossible. Your father was a fool. No one can kill a Biju. Yeah? Well, no one can kill one or stop one on a rampage either. But my real dad did that. He's lying. A figure behind the man said. The man moved forward and grabbed Naruto as Naruto tried to hit him, but his little arms were not that powerful. The man reached out as Naruto punched his arm. The man slapped him across the face. Don't make this more difficult, boy, as he gripped and tore Naruto's shirt off. The man's hand got engulfed in chakra as he placed over his belly, as a seal appeared on his stomach. Crude, the man said. Screw you, teen, said Naruto. The man laughed as someone behind him spoke. My lord, we lost contact with the base. I expected the Sannins to live up to their reputation, but this quickly. As Naruto still had his kunai behind him, while the man was distracted, he rammed it into the man's wrist. As Naruto fell as the man clutched his arm. Kill the woman, bag the child. As Naruto seemed to just snap when he heard that word. Kill. The ninja moved towards him as he screamed no. A massive fluctuation of red chakra exploded from him. As Naruto moved, his fist slamming into the man's gut that tried to grab him. The man doubled over as he was launched backwards by the pure, unrivaled force of the boy's fist. Despite a moment ago, Naruto was barely able to hurt the man that held onto him, as Naruto's hands draped down in front of him, As he lowered his body to the ground, who's in control, the man said. The Kyuubi. Or is it? As Naruto vanished, with nothing but raw speed it seems. The man turned as he heard the cry of one of his men, as he got stabbed with his own sword as he was about to stab Tsunade. The man moved as he grabbed Anko. Hold it right there, boy, he said as he held a kunai to her throat. The red vortex of power was still spitting from the boy, but he stopped. Who are you? The man said. I'm Naruto, said Naruto, his tone deeper. I don't think so, the man said, before he looked up as he felt two powerful chakra signatures coming closer. Damn it. For now we'll let you go. And the girl as well, and we will leave. Who are you? Said Naruto. An old friend of the Kyuubi. If you talk to the fox, tell him, not us, said hello, as he tossed the girl towards the boy. He watched as Naruto caught her in his arms, dropping a bit because of her weight, but he still managed to hold on to her. He watched as he see if the fox chakra would harm the girl, but the boy didn't allow it. Interesting. He looked towards his other subordinate as they moved, both of them vanishing in black whips of smoke. As Naruto fell, as Anko fell on top of him, as the red chakra vanished instantly. As the group arrived to the scene, shit, said Jiraiya, as he didn't see the man around anywhere. He saw Anko, he saw Shizune, Tsunade, but no Naruto. Naruto, he called out. There, Orochimaru said, as he picked her up as Naruto was underneath her. Are you alright? He asked. Mom and Shizu, said Naruto as he looked around. They're okay. As Jiraiya checked on them, they're gonna be fine. Calm down, he said, as Naruto took several breaths. Before he calmed himself, is Anko alright? Said Naruto. She's just knocked out, she will be fine. Who did this? Orochimaru asked. A man that called himself Nada, said Naruto. He said that he was a friend of the fox. Are you okay? Orochimaru asked. He looked towards the boy. Uncle, said Naruto. Yes, said Orochimaru. The fox, something is wrong, said Naruto, as he placed a hand on his stomach. What do you mean, Naruto-kun? He asked. When Nadas orders man to kill the girls. As Naruto lowered his head, Orochimaru lifted his head by his chin. Now what was that? Your mother told you never to be afraid to tell us anything, Naruto-kun, he said. As Naruto looked up, he said I was the Kyuubi, and when I felt mad, it wasn't my own anger. I was afraid, said Naruto. Orochimaru pulled the boy into a hug. The boy who had warmed his way into his heart and become family. I can't breathe. As the both of them separated as Anko was awake. Hey there, little serpent, Orochimaru said. On the other hand, Jiraiya removed the sleeping tag from the back of Shizune's neck. As her eyes snapped open right away. Naruto, Anko, she said. She got up. Calm down. They're both gonna be fine, he said. Heal herself first, as she had a shallow cut on her arm. Nothing too bad. I'll go get Tsunade. As Jiraiya removed the tag from her, and all those damn Senbon needles. Tsunade groaned as her eyes shot open. As Jiraiya breathed a sigh of relief. It's alright, he said. It's alright. Time skip. The Sannins returned to Konoha. Was like how they left under the cover of darkness. Anko was not impressed. The now 12-year-old glared at the villagers that saw them. Once they saw Naruto whisker marks, they started glare at her little brother, so she glared back at them. A man was stupid enough to say something when he saw Naruto, the way he referred to him. Let's just say he wouldn't be walking properly for the rest of his life, as Tsunade almost snapped him in half. But everyone else knew to stay the hell out of their way as they marched towards Hiruzen's office. The killer intent leaking from the woman was palpable as she was pissed off. She literally broke the door down as she stepped inside, causing Hiruzen to snap his gaze towards the door. Hello, Tsunade, he said, and Naruto. My, you've grown since the last time But Tsunade cut him off. I don't think that we can stay here, Sensei. What? Why? As Orochimaru entered next along with Anko. Simple. Several villagers saw Naruto, and their words are already hateful, even after all these years. Still mistaking him for the Kyuubi. As Anko placed a hand on her brother's shoulder. You told them? Of course I told them. I will not lie to my son. Keeping him ignorant of the truth would be foolish, said Tsunade, as Jiraiya entered next. As the man seemed really pissed off. Really pissed off. There wasn't much that could get Jiraiya in a bad mood because of his attitude, but this was one of them. Your villagers are gathering out there. They want to kill some demon. As the man eyes was looking towards the village with nothing but hate. If this is how the villagers and the village treat him after all these years, Sarutobi Sensei, I'm afraid that we will withdraw away from here and raise our children elsewhere, said Tsunade, as Orochimaru placed a hand on Anko's shoulder. We had believed with all the years away, things might probably die down. Sarutobi, besides, he felt the years weighing on him. The council spread the word about you three taking Naruto away from the village. They also passed on what he contained. I made the law so that Naruto's generations do not know about it, sadly. There are many others that saw him as what he contains and not the prisoner. Fools. This is how they honor Minato's dying wish. Sarutobi lowered his eyes. Kakashi has been very vocal in my discussions with him. He still believed that Naruto were leaving, said Tsunade. I will not raise him in this hostile environment. We were better off in the sand. Hell, even the Hidden Stone treat him more fairly. Orochimaru remembered their time in the Hidden Stone. Jiraiya was on pins and needle, thinking that a stone ninja might see the resemblance that Naruto had with Minato. As a Kage of the Hidden Stone had been pleased to have the three Sannins working for him a little short while. The jobs that they did there. Not that they were working for the village, after all they were still ninjas from Konoha, and the man had gotten to know Naruto, as he even offered Naruto a place in his academy. Anko too had made friends in their time there, as the Sannins were really thinking about settling there, despite being ninjas of the village hidden in a leaf. This sand had been an adventure. Jiraiya had found the seal on the boy known as Gaara when he had tried to kill them. Well, he went after Naruto, as Naruto had been trying to make friends with him, seeing that he was playing by himself, but the boy just spasmed out of control. So Jiraiya had fixed the seal, and him and Naruto became close friends. And for the 2 months they became inseparable, as Naruto had sent letters back and front with his friend Gaara. You don't mean that, said Sarutobi, as he couldn't have it with the Sannin joining another village, with the way things are going right now. No. As Tsunade glanced towards Orochimaru. As the man nodded, in our travels, we rescued many ninjas and civilians, and we set up a small hidden village. And we thought about if things did not settle here, we would go there. Sarutobi looked panicked. What do you mean? You helped me the hidden village? None of our reports had even hinted at one. It wouldn't be hidden if everyone knew about it. We have let the courts of lords know, said Jiraiya. As Sarutobi was shocked about that, I will not allow them to be raised, surrounded by hatred, Sensei. It was apparent the moment we walk in the gate, Naruto will never be accepted here. Sarutobi was about to respond until the door opened. 3 members backed by rude envoys enter inside. Good, you brought it. Now hand the child over. Have you lost your mind with your arm, Danzo? Asked Tsunade, wondering who the hell the man think that he was. Tsunade, you will stay in your place. The council has ordered the death of the Kyuubi to protect Konoha, said Danzo, although he had other plans in mind. But the child had to die, which was a rather loose term. You fools, said Jiraiya. You see the contents of a bowl and not the ramen inside. Sannin, stand down and allow the demon to be taken. Enough of this foolishness, Orochimaru said as he pulled out his Kusanagi blade, tearing one of them to try and touch any one of them. One of you try to lay a hand on him and see if you survive, he said. As Tsunade stepped forward, Jiraiya backing the both of them to make one of these members even move to touch Naruto. Sarutobi noticed that someone was missing until Danzo found himself with a scalpel at his neck. Better know this, Councilman Danzo. It doesn't matter who started first, but if any of you try to touch that boy, you will die, said Shizune. Luckily that she was on the outside. Kill me, girl, and there will be no place in this world that you can hide, said Danzo, but he wisely did not move. The girl stood at the door when they came in, and Danzo had walked past her, not seeing her as a threat. Big mistake. And the Roots could not attack her before she slit Danzo's throat, and even if they did, how would they survive the Sannins? One of them could easily massacre the group of them. Sir Toby, have your students stand down this instant, Homura said. As Orochimaru snorted, the council members have gotten very bold, ordering the Hokage around. Have they forgotten who's a power in Konoha, Sensei? They make your job easier. They're not here to rule. As Sir Toby clenched his fists. He had allowed things to go on like this for too long, and now the council has gathered enough power to rival his control over the village. Uncle, said Naruto. As Orochimaru looked down. Are these guys like the one that you told me about? Yes. And no, they are fools. But they aren't a threat, Orochimaru said. Remember what we taught you too. The two kids pulled out their kunas and they grip onto the handles. If they come at you, don't be afraid to end their life. How is this gonna play out, said Tsunade as she narrowed her eyes at each of the members. As Danzo realized that he had a key opportunity here, but he had to play this perfectly. He threw his head back as he knocked Shizune. Do it! Kill them all, he said. His root envoys moving in, as everything in the office seemed to slow down, as circled watching mayhem and chaos that were gonna cause right now. Things were not going his day, but he could not allow this to happen. As all chaos ensued inside the office, as Danzo root ninjas moved in, the two elders trying to back out, but chaos spread on the inside. But guys, to be and subscribe right here. If you want to see next parts to do, like, subscribe, comment down below, and turn on that bell notifications they posted. Remember, share some of your friends in your social media platform. And also guys, remember to stay in tune for the rest of what is coming your way over an Anime King 2 and Anime King 3. Yes, that is right, I indeed have 3 channels. Anime King 2, Anime King 3, which I post what you find every single day for you guys to enjoy. So go ahead and click that red subscribe button and become a part of the Anime King family. And thank you for all for your help and your support, guys. And yeah, without further ado, I'm all for now. See you guys soon. Peace.